right? The formula for free falling is basically if free falling, potential energy equals to kinetic energy, right? So from here, potential energy equals to the kinetic energy for free falling, and then you can cancel out because we want to find the velocity for free falling, right? So for free falling, so mass on both sides, you can cancel them off, and then you can equate, make to find the v as the subject of the formula. Then you'll get it as square root 2gh equals to the velocity, the v. So in order for you to find the v, you have to know the g and h, which we've already know. All right. This is the height, 65 meter. The g is gravitational acceleration, which is 9.81. So just substitute all the values, then you get the velocity for free falling. So v equals to square root 2 times the g, 9.81, times the height, 65 meter. All right. And then your v will be 35.71 meter per second. Now we've already have the v. So next, since we are going to use the formulas, now from the lecture, right? So we have to know what is the x naught, what is the v naught, which is x dot naught basically. We have to know both of them. So in order for us to know what is the x naught and what is the v naught, so we have to, I'm just going to put it over here, right? Second step is to find the displacement and velocity at static equilibrium position. Static equilibrium position. All right. So we want to find the x naught, right? So what is x naught? Okay, x naught is the value of the displacement at time equals to 0. So at time equals to 0, the person is obviously still at the bridge up here before he jumps off the rope, jumps off the bridge using the bungee rope. So at x equals to at xt equals to 0, at time 0, the displacement is obviously 0. Okay, no displacement occurs here, so the displacement is 0 meter. All right, and for the velocity, the initial velocity is at the point that the guy started jumping. All right, when the guy started to undergo the free falling situation, that is the initial velocity before he reached at the bottom of the bungee rope. So the initial velocity for this situation is the value that we've already get just now, 35.71 meter per second. That is the initial velocity. And then we want to find the response now. So what is the response? Okay, the response is the one that we use based from the lecture slide. This is the response. All right, xt equals to a sine omega nt plus phi. Okay, so that is the response that we want. So the step is to find the response. So the response will be xt equals to A sine omega n t plus phi. Okay, but for this question here, our A is the A naught. Our phi is the phi naught. All right. So for A, we want to find the A first. So the formula for A is this one. All right. So we use this formula to find the A for our question just now. A equals to omega n square x naught square plus x velocity naught square over omega n. Okay. So we don't know the value for omega n now, right? We haven't calculated for omega n yet. So either you can calculate it separately or whatever suits your style. But I'm just gonna put it inside the equation straight away. Since omega n equals to square root k over m, so I'm just gonna substitute omega n inside this equation here. So omega n is equal to sec k over m. All right, so omega n over right, this is our A. So you can further solve this. And in the end, you'll get the simplified version for A naught is okay. I'll send you the full PDF of the solution later. I just want to save the time, but simplify from here to here, you'll get the last equation here. All right, and then once you have this equation of A naught, you can just substitute the value, all the values that you have. Your x naught just now is 0, right? And your x dot naught or your velocity naught equals to 35.71. So calculating, insert all the values inside this equation. Your mass, the mass of the jumper is 70 kg. Length, you don't need the length. And the stiffness, the K is 1.75 kilo. Substitute all the values. The mass is 70 kg over the stiffness 1.75 kilo times the velocity naught square is 35.71. Okay. So once you calculate this, you'll get your A, your amplitude. Sorry, I forgot to put a knot. Okay, your amplitude to be 7.142 meter. This is the answer for the amplitude. Now, the next thing we have to find is the phi, the angle. Okay, then shift tangent omega n x naught over v naught. All right, so calculate that. Your fifth step will be substitute all the values that you have. But for this case, it is actually pretty obvious that your x naught is 0, right? 0 meter. The displacement is 0 meter. So if this value is 0, then shift tangent 0, you get 0. Okay, nothing to calculate here. Very easy. So once you have that, okay, you can just insert all the values that you have inside your response. Okay, insert your A, insert your A in here, and insert your phi, your angle in the response. So then you can rewrite it back as okay, and your omega n, oh sorry, forgot to find the omega n just now, right? So omega n 1.75 kilo over 70. So your omega n is, wait, okay,
5.
yeah, ngam 5, right?
Sir,
Okay, omega n equals to 5 radian per second. Okay then, so
sir,
yes, yes.
sir, for the step number 4, right?
Step number 4, yes.
Okay. If I calculate the WN first, right?
You can just calculate the omega n first. Actually, the question didn't ask you to put the, what to call that, the value for A and the value for phi inside the response. But I just want to show you that in case the question asks you find the response, typically in the vibration exam, the question typically will ask find the response. There is a multiple response that you can find in your formula sheet if you already downloaded it inside the Moodle. So you have to find a response that is suitable with the question lah. For this question, it is undamped, so you have to use the undamped response. So if
Okay.
let's say the question asks you to find the response, you have to find the A, find the phi, and then substitute back. But for this question, they didn't ask you to find the response. They just want you to find the vibratory motion, which you just have to find the A and also the phi. Actually solved already, but I just want to show you what happened if you were to substitute the A and the phi inside the response lah. All right. But
Okay,
then,
but
yes, what?
I found a different answer if I were to calculate the WN first.
You find a different answer if you calculate omega n first.
Yes, correct.
Inside here.
Yeah, at the A naught.
The A naught. Wait, I calculate. Mm-hmm. True. You get 15, right? 15.9.
Yeah, 15.97, correct.
Yeah, 15.97 meter. Oh, very weird. But if I were to substitute square root k over m and then solve it in long way and then just substitute the value, I'll get this. Okay, wait. The one is 0. Wait, I try to digest what's happening first. We got n square. I see. I put a wrong formula here. Sorry. It's square root on the top only, not at the omega n at the bottom also.
Oh, I thought on the whole
Sorry.
equation. Okay.
I also
Alright.
confused with my handwriting because my handwriting is very bad, So wait.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Then wait. Calculate back. Do I get 7 point something? Divided by.
Yes, that would be 7.142.
I'll get the formula back, is it?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, my bad. I didn't realize
It's
that.
fine, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So if the question asks for vibratory motion, just give the answer for A and also for the phi only. But in exam, normally they won't ask for vibratory motion. In exam, they tend to make students' life very hard one. So they'll ask you to put in response. So you have to once get all these values here that are highlighted in green color here, substitute it back inside this. So then I'm going to continue with. Continue. This will be 5. Wait, the t is, 5t first, plus the phi is 0. Okay, and then, that's it. Don't have to put the 0, so can 5t. If the question asks for x naught, then if the question asks for x naught, then you have to find for x naught lah. Find the x naught and then substitute the value for t to be 0. Then your answer will be 0 back. Same thing. Okay, shows that x naught equals to 0. Nothing. That's all. All right. So hope you guys understand for this question.